Hi, my guest today on MMA Hot Lips is the very beautiful Karisa Maxwell. She's a media personality, content creator, and producer, and she was 2024's commentator for PFL last year. Hello, Karissa. Great to see you today.
Hi, Katie. So good seeing you again, and thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. Now, before we get started, I really want to do a few highlights and show everybody who you are. Let's roll the tape. B, can you roll that tape for us and let everybody know who Karissa is? We can watch that.
2023 PFL Europe champion and now 2024 PFL Global Season finalist Dakota Ditcheva with another stoppage. Congratulations. How does it feel to have won the playoffs knowing you are one fight closer to that $1 million title fight?
I am so happy. Karissa Maxwell here in South Florida. We're in just 8 short weeks. The top 4 fighters from the lightweight and the light heavyweight division will be facing off to determine who will advance to the championships for a shot at a world title and $1 million.
So you won the welterweight title in 2022, and $1 million obviously changes your life.
Yeah.
But you've also had a kid since then. So is moving up to light heavyweight like the MMA version of a dad bod for you? This is it. We've made it to the end of the PFL regular season. Tomorrow night is the final PFL playoff fight where we'll find out which 4 fighters will advance to the championships to fight for that $1 million here in our.
So I know you've been traveling for Thanksgiving, and this is kind of an impromptu, so I really appreciate you taking the time to come out and chat with me about the PFL fights. I mean, we're having Thanksgiving dinner, we have family, and then we have the fights. So I'm sure we enjoyed all of those, especially the fights, right?
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family this year because I was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia for the fights. So I was very grateful to get that time. And as much as I did not enjoy the 7.5-hour car ride back yesterday, it was much better than the 20-something hour flight back from Saudi Arabia.
No doubt about that.
Small wins.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. I do want to talk about the fights. So I had a chance to watch them and on Friday night, and they're very interesting. The championship fights for PFL, and so I want to talk to you a little bit and get your take on the fights because they went a little bit differently than I thought they were going to do. I'd love to get your opinion on your thoughts on how you think that went, and we can kind of just go over one by one who fought, what weight division, and how you saw that happening versus how it actually happened. Because I think there were a lot of finishes that I didn't expect. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, considering that these are the top fighters for the weight class, right? The 2 fighters who got in the smart cage, they had to battle it out all season to get to where they are. So you kind of expect this level of competitiveness. And I think there were a lot of finishes early on that I did not expect. Even some of the people that won, I didn't expect them to win, but it was more so how they won. But yeah, no, I had to fight with my family to turn off football to put it on at 1 p.m. on Friday. So I did watch them to their dismay. But yeah, I mean, overall, they were great fights, but there were definitely a lot of surprises.
Well, okay, so let's just start with the heavyweight division. You've got Denis Goltsov, you have Oleg Popov, and 2 very, very large men getting in the ring. How I saw it happening was they were going to battle it out a lot longer than what happened. So I saw, when Popov took him down, which basically I think was his strategy to get him on the ground. He's much better on the ground than swinging it out in a stand-up game. When he got him down to the ground, I thought, okay, it's over. He's going to take Denis out. But then, as you know, what happened was the triangle, and Oleg was out. Did that surprise you at all when that happened?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely thought that fight was going to go a lot longer than it did, especially you got Oleg Popov, who had the longest win streak in active heavyweight MMA, 17-0. So I expected him to put up a really good fight. And then you've got Denis, who, I mean, the PFL would not exist without Denis Goltsov. Like, he is a veteran through and through. If he's not in the playoffs or the finals, like, the the universe is upside down. So for him to come in, but he had never won it, right? So it's always those thing where he dominates all season, he gets in, and then I don't want to say flops, but falls short in the championship. So going into it, I kind of had that, in the back of my head where it's a even matchup skill set, but when the momentum has been in Oleg's favor all season and Dennis has just always come so close, you didn't really know. It was a toss up. I did think it was going to be a lot closer, but as soon as Dennis got that arm, it was over. They got hold of his arm and it was just, I mean, Oleg didn't know. He passed out before he could know, but
I did.
he
It's
had
like
no idea.
he's patting him. Yes, wake up.
Yeah.
That was
but
surprising.
I mean, yeah, definitely was. But, those two guys have such unique personalities that I was really excited just to see them fight, just to see, those barriers be broken down of like how they would interact with each other, because they've always been really friendly with each other. Dennis is like very stone face all the time, though. We even saw that in his celebration. So it was good it was expected to see him like trying to wake up Oleg, like, fight's over, wake up, you're done. Like respectful, but to the point.
Well, let's kind of go through weight class, I think. Even though we're not going in order, I think, we've got Empa Kasangna. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. This one was very, very surprising with Davlet Yagashimov. I had the worst time saying his name.
Yagashimiradov.
There you go. Thank you very much. And then you have Empa Kasangna. And I really thought this was going to go all rounds. I thought it was going to be a battle. And here's my quick opinion. I think Empa got caught. I think he got caught quick. He went in too fast. What's your opinion on that fight?
I definitely thought it was going to go the distance, go to decision. I wasn't expecting there to be a knockout or stoppage. So that was definitely surprising, especially that quick. But I think one thing that people weren't considering is that Davlet had the advantage in that his coach is Conan Silveira, Josh Silveira's dad.
Yes.
Josh Silveira, he's been preparing for the fight with Impa, for that whole leading up to the playoffs. So American Top Team was very focused on him. And before that, you've got Johnny Eblen who fought him. So Davlet has seen these guys training to fight Impa. And it's always been in the back of the mind that he could be next. So he's not only seen how they were training, but then he learned from, Josh Silveira's mistakes, even Johnny Eblen's mistakes, because that, of course, was a split decision. So he definitely had that advantage. Not Dakota. We're not on Dakota yet. Dakota's on my mind. Impa, American Top Team. I get excited for Dakota. Impa has dominated this season because of his striking. When he's on his feet, right? He's done damage. Like I said, Davlet found that opportunity. He saw where Josh didn't take advantage of the situations, and he got him. Like you said, Impa got caught, but because Davlet found those holes in his game. So
let's move on to Brent Primus, lightweight. He fought Gadzhi Rabadanov.
Yeah. His name has haunted, but don't feel bad because his name has haunted my dreams. That is the one name. Every video I had to do this season, I would trip over his name to the point where I would just be like, Rabadanov. I finally got it. It's Rabadanov, but it took a lot of work, so don't feel bad.
Sorry, Gadzhi, if you watch this, please forgive us. We try so hard. But this was a really, really good fight. I really thought, and I think kind of went the way I was seeing it go. They went 3 rounds, which is surprising. And at the very last of the 3rd round, of course, Brent got knocked out, basically. I think, my opinion, and then I'll get yours, I think Gadzhi was the faster striker. I think he was quick and he was fast. I think Brent wanted to take it to the ground because that's where he shines. And he did a few times, but it just didn't work out for him in that way. And then when they were in the stand-up game, I think Gadzhi had a real edge on him. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Brent, to me, has been one of the most exciting fighters to watch the entire season. It's weird to say he caught a lot of people by surprise because he is a former Bellator champion, but he was just exciting. He was really likable. Every fight that he won, it was in exciting fashion. So I expected it to be a really good fight. But I agree. Brent knows that his strength is wrestling, and that's what gave him the advantage against Clay Collard. And so I think he was trying to get him down to the ground because he knows that, got those Russians, man, they can wrestle too. So I think he was trying to just beat him at his own game and wasn't expecting the stand-up striking to happen. So it was one of those things. I didn't know who was necessarily going to win. But I was surprised that it was a third round TKO of Brent. I thought it would go to decision or it would be a submission, but it was an exciting fight. Definitely didn't disappoint in the action.
It was really good. I totally agree with you. I'm sorry to see Brent lose on this one, but he'll be back next year. I know he will. He's a dedicated fighter, I feel, and he's just got one of those really great personalities for PFL. He's a team player, so I'm anxious to see him come back and work his magic next year. So the next fight that I thought was pretty good. I was a little bit bored, actually. Welterweights with Shamil
Musaev. Yeah.
Yes. You say the last names. You're so much better at it. And Magomed
Umalatov.
There you go. Okay. Those two are amazing. They're, Shamil is a fire plug. I mean, he is on fire. He is fast. He's quick. He anticipated moves. I think they were feeling each other out a little too much in this, though. They weren't really striking or making this as a super exciting game. Did you feel that way? I mean, they were just kind of too much of feeling each other out instead of getting any action in there. And I'm kind of going, ooh.
Oh yeah, no, it was
a little bit.
It was boring as hell. But it is exactly what I expected. Yeah, no, I was funny. I was on another podcast before the championship, and somebody asked me about the fight, and I was like, based on how Shamil Musaev fought Ramazanov, another name I struggle with. They're two fights that were very exciting to watch. They were filled with action. But then watching Magomed all season, his fights were historically kind of boring. I had said, I'm like, this fight is either going to be an absolute bloodbath banger or Mike Tyson, Jake Paul all over again.
Shamil has some really fast hands. He was very quick during this fight. So when he was actually striking, he was very quick, a lot quicker than Magomed. Yeah,
for sure. But we haven't really seen that's what I'm saying. We didn't really see a lot of that, and especially I know we'll get to this when we get to talking about Dakota, but on Tuesday of fight week, when they're like, oh, we're gonna let elbows happen now, I know I was excited. But then it kind of showed watching these guys. I'm like, oh, yeah, you've been training all season and have not been throwing elbows. And now you're forgetting that you can. So I was expecting to see a lot more action because of elbows. And we didn't really see too much of it.
There was none of it in any of them, I don't think. Maybe Dakota.
Dakota threw a few. Yeah. A little elbow action there.
Let's talk about the featherweight division. Brendan Loughnane and Timur Khizriev, right? Khizriev,
yeah,
is that how you
got
say
it? Yeah.
So this was a really good fight, actually. Action packed. They both went back and forth, but honestly, I think Timur was sharper. I think he was faster. He just had an edge on him. What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 1000%. I mean, first of all, it's not a Brendan Loughnane fight unless there's a lot of blood, but usually it's not on him. So that was definitely surprising to see the blood pouring from his face for once. But yeah, I mean, it was very clear that he had lost the first two rounds, and then getting in the third round, he just felt like he was drained. I just felt like there was no energy in him. He was doing a lot of just sitting around contemplating, it felt like. So by that third round, I was like, there is no way he's going to show anything in these final 2 rounds. Like I had called the unanimous decision loss, if not a knockout, by the 3rd round because he already looked like there was no gas left in the tank. That was very surprising from him because he has come out swinging literally and has been so explosive all season, getting knockouts and coming back on his redemption tour to show that, why he is a former champion and going to do it again. And it just was not I was kind of, I don't want to say I wasn't impressed because I obviously wasn't impressed, but I was kind of shocked that that was the performance that we got out of him.
Yeah, I don't think he had it in his gas tank at that with that many rounds. I think he just, you're right. He just kind of gassed out and wasn't as exciting as he usually is.
Yeah,
and there was a little blood involved, so that's good.
Yeah, they love blood.
What do they say? If it bleeds, it leads. So it was a good. So I like that fight. It was good. Now we come to the girl fight, the darling of PFL, as you know, it's Dakota Ditcheva. I mean, how do you not love this human being? She is just so sweet and so great. And I love Taila Santos. She's awesome too. She fought in the UFC. Some people say that she even won over Valentina Shevchenko. Yep. Great fight there in the UFC. So she has some great strengths in her fight game. And she actually gave it back to Dakota pretty well. She was not afraid to get in there and get close. And she knew what was coming if she got close to Lady Longlegs, Dakota Ditcheva, right? But she got in there and she got some good hits on her. Yeah, I mean, what do you say about Dakota? She is just absolutely a dynamo.
I could talk about Dakota for forever. A week straight because she is just so incredible inside and outside of the cage. But that fight, that matchup, Dakota Ditcheva versus Taila Santos, that is what everybody wanted before the season even started. As soon as Taila signed with PFL, she was a top contender in the division. Obviously, Dakota coming off the PFL Europe champion in 2023, there was a lot of pressure on her to kind of prove herself or get a wake-up call, which is what a lot of her haters thought was going to happen. So for it to go the way it did, for them to then meet in the championship, and to your point, Taila brought Dakota past the first round for the first time this season. So, after the first round, I was like, oh, okay, like, Taila is everything that we knew and thought that she was, but Dakota is everything she says she is. And that's kind of the difference, right? Like she even said in her post-fight interview, she's like, I tried telling you, and she's right. Her Muay Thai skills are unmatched. Impeccable. I mean, I'm willing to say that she is like the best striker, female striker, at least like on the planet right now across all promotions, because she's so precise. Her limbs are so long that she has incredible reach.
Lady long limbs.
yeah. But like the precision is just unreal. And then I took one Muay Thai class once and I could not walk for 2 weeks. Right. So seriously. I look at her shins and the conditioning that her shins must have in order to kick the way she does and to just keep bouncing back and pull through the fights and never back down. That was an incredible performance. That to me, out of all the fights on the card, was the most championship caliber performance between both of them. I mean, even though it ended in the second round, Taila put up a great fight. You can see her skill set on display. She's an incredible talent. PFL is very lucky to have her. But that fight was exciting. It should have been a main event, in my opinion, especially because Dakota's the face of the PFL, especially now. So that was great. I want to watch that fight again, especially now that I know what happens and I can kind of get the nerves out and I can just enjoy it for the art that it is. But I am so happy for her to now be a world champion and have that $1 million and go buy a new pair of shoes, which is her.
She's such a fashionista. I loved her move at the very end of the fight when she picked up the lip gloss and was like that on her lips and just so adorable, cocky, and confident, all in one little bundle of joy. What an ending that was. I love that she did that, and I like her sassiness. And you're right, she is PFL's best asset right now. And
There's
that would
there's
be
a
the
certain
next step.
promotion. There's a certain promotion you've dreamt of, right? And that's not a knock at the
Yes.
PFL at all. It's just the reality when you've got an organization that's been around 30 plus years compared to something that's been around for 5 years.
Right.
You know, there's a level of stardom that comes with that. So I'm sure, not that she's craving to go to the UFC, but it's not something that she is counting out or poo-pooing, if you will. But it would be really exciting to see her step in the octagon.
I think so too. I think that she deserves it. I think that she has every right to go there. She's earned it in a big way. So I'm anxious to see what she has in the future. I will definitely be following her for a long time. I think she's a beast. I mean, she just absolutely is perfection in every way in her fighting skills. She's good on the ground. She's good at takedown defense. She's great at kickboxing and the Muay Thai. I mean, just mean good. She's just
but she's the
good.
full package. Like she's
Full
got
package.
the talent, but then about the lipstick, like she's also mastered the art of trash talking without having bad blood with her opponent, right? Like
Yes.
she can talk a good game to sell a fight, but she's not saying outlandish things or you know, trying to make drama where there isn't. She's
Yes.
really effective in the things she decides to do and the things that she says. And then on top of that, she's so good at marketing herself. Like she's constantly filming content, editing. She posts her vlogs on YouTube. She's all up on social media. She obviously has all the brands that she works with. So she gets it. And there's not a lot of fighters or athletes for that matter that get it the way Dakota does, while also having the talent to back it up. So
absolutely,
the opportunities are endless for her.
Yeah. She's got the marketing IQ. She's got the fighter IQ. She's got it all. So yeah. So we're going to end it with those. It was a great little review on all those fights. It was a good night. It was a very good night. So it was great to end it with Dakota, and I'm anxious to see what happens next. Well, Karissa, this has been so much fun. I love talking about the PFL. I love talking about fighting. It's been a privilege to talk with you today. I love being able to speak with women about this. I think more women should be more interested in the MMA game. So it's been great. And I want to promote you as well. So anyone that's interested in hiring Karissa, please look below. I put her link in there, her Instagram link, and it links to all her other socials. Check her out. She is amazing. And now that this year is almost over, I am now headed to the last fight for UFC 310, and I will be out there to cover the fights for one last time this year. But Karissa, this has been a fun time wrapping up with you and spending some time with you. So thanks so much again for being here. You have a great day, okay?
Yes, thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Thank you. You too. Hey, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and better yet, subscribe, because I love that. And make sure you hit the notification button, because you will get all notifications of when I launch exceptional videos like Karissa and mine today. Thank you so much for watching. MMA Hot Lips out.